YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of the House. Host Kato. And today, we got some stuff to talk about. We're going to get into like the state of Lebron, the situation that I'm going to speak on. And then we got the Lakers next game. So, let's start off with USC. So, Juju and USC defeat Indiana. Defeat Indiana in the quarterfinals. Just now, 84-79. I mean, it was a bad game. I caught the second half. I caught the second half of the game. And personally, I thought the game was very competitive. USC was down by a couple points in the third quarter, but they were able to come back and get the victory. Indiana has a player, Yarden Garzon. Yarden Garzon. She was 5 for 8 from three. She had 23 points. I think she leads the league in 3-pointers. In 3-point percentage. I think she has the best in the league. So shout out to her. She terrified me. And the reason why I say she terrified me was because she was making every three possible in the second half that I watched. She was making every three possible. But there were players that were in foul trouble on USC. On USC side, Kiki Arafin, she fouled out in the fourth. She had some foul, but she finished the game with 21 points and 9 rebounds. She was hitting all the jumpers in the third, fourth quarter to keep them in the league, to keep USC in the league. So shout out to her. Then USC displayed great defense. Juju, she had a big game, another 30-point game. That makes her second all time, 31. And Juju is second all time in 30-point games, right behind Cheryl Miller with 25. Juju currently has 21 30-point games, and Cheryl Miller had 25, so she's right behind Cheryl Miller. She had a double-double. Juju had 31 points, 10 rebounds. She had a block in the third. I think that set the tone going into the fourth quarter. Even for Indiana, I mean, they played a competitive game as well. Overall, I thought the Trojans played well in the second half. And Juju, definitely an unsung hero. Winning her team the victory, and now they'll move on tomorrow. And I think they'll play tomorrow. I just want to make sure. Hold on, let me check real quick. So for y'all that don't know, March Madness is here. March Madness is indeed here. I just want to make sure I got the. Oh my God! Don't tell me the Wi-Fi gonna act up. Okay, so the Wi-Fi is acting up. So tomorrow they'll play. I'm not sure, but we'll react to that game. I don't know what's going on with the. Anyway, yeah. So they'll move on tomorrow. They'll move on tomorrow. So shout out to the Trojans and Juju. Now we're gonna move on to some NBA basketball. So in the NBA, Lakers and Knicks, and we're going to speak on that situation with Stephen A. and LeBron. I just want to make sure I have everything in front of me, so I'm not just talking off. I'm not just talking. So, the Lakers went in overtime against the Knicks yesterday and beat them 113-109. Jalen Brunson hurt his ankle in overtime, but he had 39 points, 10 assists. OG had 20 points. And Josh Hart had 18 and 10. Um, Karl Anthony Towns didn't really. It wasn't his best game. He was 3 for 13, 23 points from the field. Shot 1 for 6 from three. Had 12 points and 14 rebounds. On the Lakers side, Luka had 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 12 assists. He shot 39% from the field, 4 for 12 from three, 33% from three. LeBron had 31 and 12 and 8. Shot 47. He shot 48% from the field. 2 for 8 from three, but he hit some clutch shots in the fourth. He hit some clutch shots in overtime. No, and he hit clutch shots in the fourth to keep them in the game, which ultimately tied them up. Gabe Vincent hit some big shots down the stretch. Overall, it was a great game for the Lakers. Now let's get to the controversial part. So during the game, LeBron sees Stephen A. on courtside. He walks over and confronts him about a take that Stephen A. had about Bronny. There was a take on that on First Take. Stephen A. had mentioned that he got tired of the whole Bronny saga. Trying to force Bronny, like Bronny into late games, trying to make it about Bronny, not about like the team. And everybody knows that the reason why Bronny got drafted to Lakers was because his dad played for the Lakers. So you got that going on. But Stephen A. is on First Take, and he just said, man, he really went at LeBron as a father and just said, stop, like just stop. I remember that day when he said it too. But it was just a take where just he was trying to get the Lakers to kind of keep Bronny in the G League so he can keep going crazy instead of throwing him out there toward the end of like an actual regular season game with the Lakers and just having him out there just for unnecessary views, I guess, or ratings. And Stephen A. didn't like how Stephen A. didn't like how the Lakers were doing that. So that's what the whole situation was about. And LeBron confronted him on the sideline. So like LeBron confronted him on the sideline. He basically just said, keep my son out of this SH. He said, keep my son out of this, right? So Stephen A. went on First Take this morning, and he said, that wasn't a basketball player confronting me, that was a parent. Clearly took exception to some of the things I said. He elected to confront me while I was sitting courtside. He feels like I was slighting his son. Then he goes on to say, then he says, I don't want enemies, but I also get paid to call it like I see it. What I said at that time, I stand by what I said. What I said about LeBron was fact-based. Basically, Stephen A. have threw out a stat line of basically like Bronny's stats. And Bronny's stats is like around 2 points, and it's just all like low average stats. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. His stats are like very low. And obviously in the G League, you see him dropping like 24 and 30 points in G League and going crazy. Then, But Stephen A., I mean, you do gotta critique players, but at the same time, it's like you did come at him as a father too, you know what I mean, and tell him like to stop doing certain stuff, which is understandable. And LeBron has a right to get upset because you did talk about his son on national TV, so he has a right to get upset. Even though Stephen A. was just throwing out facts, you know what I mean. But sometimes you gotta be careful, what you say. But at the same time, as an organization, you have to put your players in the best opportunity to be successful and to win. And clearly, Bronny has a great support cast around him. As far as his agent, Rich Paul, who's the best in the business. And yeah, I mean, Bron has it right, but at the same time, Stephen A. There are going to be some point. There are going to be times where this is going to happen, and Stephen A. knows this. He's been in the league for 20 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, it comes with it, but you have to realize that like there's stuff that you say online that's going to translate into real life, and I feel like there are some people who don't really speak on Bronny in a negative way because of, you know, his dad is LeBron, he's LeBron's son, so you're not going to criticize him as hard because it is LeBron's son, you know what I mean? So Stephen A. took it in a different approach, like, man, I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna tell it how it is, which I respect about Stephen A. But at the same time, sometimes you do, at times you do reach to get a certain amount of ratings and views, which you do a great job at. Your show is #1 still, right? Right. So, like, you do a good job, but you're gonna have, but there will be times where it's like you're reaching, and this is one of the times where you wasn't really reaching. You kind of was reaching, but not really, because you were just being critical of his game, not him as a person, and like that. So, but I mean, either way, LeBron, I mean, if somebody would speak about my son like that, I'm gonna confront too, like, yo, bro, like, you don't know what we got going behind closed doors, so don't be speaking on certain stuff that you don't know about. And that's what LeBron was probably telling them, you know what I'm saying, on the sideline. But I mean, it's very unfortunate that this happened. You know what I mean? But all in all, they'll get past it. But yeah, whatever relationship him and LeBron had is gone now. So could they have talked about it behind closed doors? Yeah. But hey, man, if you see somebody you got smoke with, have an issue with, you're going to confront them regardless of if it's right or wrong. If you see him, you're going to confront him on the site. So like LeBron, I mean, he was 10 toes. He, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's seen who he had problems with and he confronted them like a man. It could have been handled behind closed doors, yeah, but hey, if it's on site, it's on site. He stood on that. So, you know, shout out Bron, but the Lakers are on an 8-game win streak right now, and they're looking good. And tomorrow they'll play the Celtics. It's gonna be a good game. So, but let's move on to Dwight Howard has officially been inducted into the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame. About time. I think Orlando should retire Dwight Howard's jersey. Like, regardless of how he left was ugly, whatever, he put on for y'all city and put y'all on the map. You know, after Shaq left, you know, you had T-Mac. After T-Mac, it was kind of up in the air. T-Mac could have came back and played with Dwight, but there were reports that T-Mac didn't want to play with a kid from high school. A kid come from high school, so that's why he upped and went to Houston. So, but Dwight had Orlando rocking for about 8 years. Went to the finals, won 3 Defensive Player of the Years with Orlando. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, Dwight Howard was a superstar with Orlando. He was a superstar. You know, no matter how y'all look at Dwight, it's like not taking the game serious. That's how I viewed it at one point. But then when you look at him, when you looked at how he played on the court, he was destroying everybody defensively and offensively. Like, there was no answer for Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was a double-double. He was a monster double-double with Orlando. You couldn't stop him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he smiled a lot, whatever, but when it came to the game itself, he was dominating. And, you know, and that's the kind of big that you want. But I do think the reason why Dwight didn't have the type of success everybody wanted was because how he played wasn't really, he didn't really play with like a skill. Like, really, he got rebounds, blocked shots, and he dunked the ball. So as far as like skill and stuff, he didn't really have. So I think that's why people knocked Dwight, because skill-wise, he didn't really have the tools skill-wise, but he was dominating though, and it didn't matter. but his resume speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Um, hold on, so Howard career stats. Yeah, Dwight Howard's resume speaks for itself. Um, I mean, if we go, hold on, like if we go to his stats, Dwight helped the Lakers win their championship. Um, in 2020. But if you look at his career stats, let's go to his seasons where he was killing. It's his points. So points, rebounds. His best year was 2011 when he averaged 23 points a game, 14 rebounds. Then 2012 he averaged 21 and 14 and a half rebounds. 09, 21 and 13. 2010, the year he went to the finals, he averaged 20 and 13. Then 2010 he averaged 18 and 13. 07. So you can see the progression of Dwight, but his best year was in 2011 when he averaged 23 and 14 rebounds. Dwight he was a double machine. You know what I mean? Like he was killing. But yeah, shout out to Dwight. It's about time, but they should definitely put Dwight's jersey in the Raptors. Like whatever energy they have, or they gotta get that settled. Like Dwight he's one of the greats. So shout out to Dwight for getting his jersey retired. And then what else happened in the I'm not gonna lie, that's it, y'all. That's it. I'm gonna drop a video after this with my AirPods it's about to die, so I have to end it. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all new, man. Tonight you got Ja and the Grizzlies playing Clay and the Mavericks. Obviously no Kyrie, Tony Seal, no AD. AD might be out for the season. There have been reports that Joel Embiid might force like retirement. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, man. Steph Curry and the Warriors had a close game with the Brooklyn Nets last night. Steph Curry had 40 against the Brooklyn Nets last night. Had no answer for him. The Hawks beat the Pacers last night. Orlando just keep losing games. They lost to the Bulls, and Kobe White had 44. I don't know what's going on with Orlando, but Orlando definitely has to get together. Because right now, if you look at the standings, bro, Orlando has lost 5 straight, and they're the ninth seed. What are we doing? Anyway, as far as the Lakers, they're number 2, 8-game win streak. But somebody outside is like doing something ridiculous. But the Lakers on 8-game win streak, they're 2nd seed. Let's see if Memphis can beat the Mavericks tonight and get a win and hold on to that top 5 spot. Because right now they've been losing. And last game, Ja did not look good. So yeah, we'll see. But the Warriors, the 3-game win streak. The Timberwolves, 3-game win streak. The Clippers, obviously they won. The Suns could get in that play in with the Mavericks losing their players to injuries. The Suns could get in that play in, so let's see what happens with them. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'm gone.